So okay, people asked me how did I did the textures here to look so nice, and this is what I'm about to show you. So yeah, this is a scene before I started to work on the texture, and and what I did is I selected this part right here. I divided, I kind of isolated, I detached it. If you go on, you can select it and you can press detach, and you can detach any part that you want to render to texture. This is what I did. I just took this part, I detached it because I didn't want it to render everything. I didn't want it to render the whole scene, all the walls. I just wanted to work on this particular wall in my scene. So what I did, I just went, selected the polygon, and pressed detach, detached it, gave it a name. So now it's mesh, but you should give a name like wall or something, or orange wall in my case. And what I did is, if you go to render, you have here option render to texture. If you press it, oops, I don't know, I got some error, I don't know what exactly it is, but if you add, you can add, you can render different rendering elements, and with them you can also add them to the map. I didn't actually do it, I just used the map. But here you got the resolutions. I did the 2000, the bigger one, and just press the render button. You know, if it gives you like what it's not supporting, just press continue. And here it is. Here it starts to render. I get it in my Vray frame buffer. So this basically we can close because we don't need that. We can only concentrate on our Vray frame buffer. And I'm rendering with quite fast parameters, but you can see my renders as higher you go with your rendering parameters, the higher quality of this map will be. So let's see that. Oops, sorry. Where it is? Why it did closed? Yeah. Anyways, it goes to this order, to this scene assets images, and you can find all those images right here after the render is done. And after going to Photoshop, you can, this is what I got. This is what I rendered with my 3D Max. And as you see here, we get already shadows from random texture, and we get also I think it's flipped here. We need to flip it because rotate horizontal, right? Okay, now it's correct. Here we got the flower, right? And then we got the M. So here it is. We get shadows from M. So this is basically how you render to texture in order to start and making really nice unique textures to the walls, or you can open and render anything you want. We can also let me show you what I've got here. I did like different tests with it, and well, I think I did also rendered the second wall right here. Let me just open it. This is how it looks like. this is that wall. I just also selected only this part. I selected isolated, detached it, and rendered it to texture. And then I went to a very nice website you should be familiar with, called cjtextures.com. And in this website you can find a lot of cool textures. For example, if you go to plaster, you can find a lot of different types of walls and stuff like that. So you can see you can download different types of walls, different textures. I've downloaded, let me show you what I got. I download different rocks. What else? Okay, these are the textures that I got from this website. I'm going to open them in Photoshop right here. Alright, I'm just gonna close that black one because I don't need it at this moment. And what I did is I started to drag and drop those different textures, and I started to scale them just to match the size. And I started to work with those different modes to give unique look to my texture. You can also play with opacity, so something like that could work just fine. And you can add more textures and start to play with their layer modes. So you can see we get a really nice mix. For example, this one is seamless. So what we can do, we can press Ctrl A to select all, and then we can define pattern, make define pattern. Then we can create, oops, not here, we can create another layer, paint this layer in any color, double click on the layer, pattern overlay, and then we go and we select our pattern that we created right now, and then we can fill it. In order to discard it, we just merge layers, and there we go. We got this really nice seamless looking layer of the wall. And if we go and start to play with different modes, we can get really nice unique look to our texture. Okay, I've got also this stuff, those nice textures with cracks and bumps. And here's another one. So I'm going to close all of these. No. And I'm going to open the texture that I did just to give you briefly how it looks in the end. Where's my wall? Here it is. It's a little bit big because I did the render I saved it with PNG and 16-bit channel, so just in order to have more quality. You see here I'm working with 16-bit channel. That's why like this texture looks really good in high resolution. You know, JPEG, they kind of compress the stuff. So this is what I did after I combined. Whoops. After I've combined those textures, as you see here that I showed you with the method, with different overlay, lighten, screen, multiply, color. You see I'm using soft light, different modes, lighten. So this is all comes together to something that looks like that. And after accomplishing it, I wanted to give it really nice splashes with color or white color or something like that, something that looks like this. And those I did with Photoshop brushes. And those brushes, if I'll go here, So see here, I can create new layer. You can see we get really nice cracks or so, and I don't know, there's stuff like that we can put here. There's a lot of different brushes here, and this pack of brushes called it's called Brushes Good Blur Good Brush 4.0 Pro. And if you go and you search for it, Blurs Good Brushes 4.0 Pro, you get those two links from CG Society. And if you go to the CG Society link, come on, internet is really slow today, I don't know why. Just gonna close this here. Here you go, the page. Whoops. Maybe I'll try to open it with Firefox. Google Chrome is not really well responding today, or it's just my internet. Sorry for that, by the way. Anyways, if you go to this if you go to this website, there will be a link that you can download those. Oh, here we go. This is the page. This is the second page. There's probably, if you get to the first, just click next and go to the second page. Then scroll down here. This is a cool guy who created those brushes, and then you have this Blur Good Brush 4.0 link. You just click it, or you can do the right click and then save as. The internet is really slow today. Anyways, this is the download link. You will be able to download those brushes, and after downloading them, just so you know, you go to your computer, see whatever your Photoshop is. My Photoshop is like right here. Photoshop. No, it's not CS5. It's minus CS4. Well, you have brushes folder in your Photoshop. Photoshop. That will be. I cannot find the CS4, but you have, for example, here presets, right, and then brushes, and you have all the brushes right here. So you can just after downloading this file, you just drag and drop it there, and you will after loading the Photoshop, you will find it. You will find it right here. Just go, do the right click, press it here, and then your brushes will be here loaded to your Photoshop. This is a good brush, Blur Good Brush. There's a lot of nice types of brushes. I'm using also different brushes, not for this particular matter, but I like to use a lot of different brushes. Natural 2, they got like really nice. As you see, it looks like it's been painted or something. So I really encourage you to go ahead and just shoot the Google, type Photoshop, I don't know, free brushes. Oops, free brushes, and you'll get a huge amount of different cool brushes that you can download. You see here, this one is paint. There's a lot of different amount. This one also cool. You can just go ahead, download those brushes, install them, and start making unique textures, cool textures uh, for your walls or sofas or whatever there is. So this is what I added. I added another layer of really nice splashes of paint. I also, as you see here, used the lighting. The lighting is right here in this blur brushes. We got sort of lighting thing, so you see it makes really nice cracks. What else? There's another lighting. Here it is. Also really nice cracks. Okay, so yeah, just go ahead, go crazy with this stuff. Test it. Do like, you need to do at least like 3 or 4 maps in order to get something that I have in this image, something that looks like this. And the corners I just painted with the brush strokes that gives the paint strokes. So this is my final result. This is how you use your render to texture. By the way, you can render anything you want. You can do it. I did it with my ceiling. Actually, I wanted to render the ceiling also. Render to texture. Oops, I need to add these guys here. Yeah, I render it already, but here it is in small version. As you see here, I rendered the whole ceiling, so I get my ceiling's pretty big. So I get from one side is one window, from the other side is the other window, and I get the lighting and everything. So you can render your whole ceiling. You can only select one part, but as you know, you can render the whole ceiling. You can render all your walls and start painting the light and stuff like that. There's a lot of artists that do that stuff.